So you walk into the guitar store, you see that beautiful ES335 in the window, you ask to have a look, you pick it up, the guy plugs it in, and then you freeze. You've got no idea what to play. Everything you've ever learned has gone out of your head. You want to totally avoid that situation. Hang out to find out. Now, this is a really common problem. You go to the guitar store and you just don't know what to play. Everything just empties out of your mind and you're left completely blank. Annoyed with yourself because you know you play some great stuff at home, but when you go to the guitar store, it all just disappears. So how do you avoid this? Well, you kind of treat it a little bit like a sort of a mini gig. That's the way to treat it. When you play a gig, you don't jump up on the stage and think, what am I going to play? You know what you're going to play. You've already planned it out. And you kind of need to do that with a guitar store, but just with a few little tweaks on it. So what I'm going to do is run through 4 ideas that you can use in the guitar store so you never come up against that situation where you don't know what to play. Now, as a blues guitarist, we've got the 12-bar blues. So the first thing you're going to do when he hands you the guitar is just to sit on a little 12-bar vamp, right? And that's going to kind of get you in the mood a little bit, right? And then you're going to expand from there. So when he puts that guitar in your hand, you'll just sit in with a just a little vamp like that. So here I'm playing an A13 chord. It's definitely one of my favourite chords. You can see it on the screen now. Yeah, or you could be a complete genius like Big Jim and just be a complete natural and do all this amazing stuff. So yeah, we could do that, Big Jim, but we're not you, are we? Now I'm going to move to D9. You can see that on the screen now, back to A13. D9. Then I'm just going to put a little altered chord in the end, just so they know that I know what I'm doing. So, right, and it just sounds quite cool because it brings me back to that A13. You can see it on the screen there. So it's an E7, sharp 9, sharp 5, this chord. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm kind of warming up a little bit. It's just getting me into the groove of things. I can then move away from that into doing a few little noodles. But basing it around a 12-bar really helps. Because as soon as you walk in, you think, right, I'm just doing a 12-bar. But you're not doing a boring 12-bar. You're doing an interesting 12-bar with some really cool chords and some nice muting going on. So it sounds really cool. So then what you're going to do is something like this. You're just going to noodle around with it a little bit. So you're going to play a bar of your cool A13 chord, and then and here I'm just doing minor third to major third, and going down an A triad, and then repeating the chord, and then doing, then I'm moving to that minor third, and that just sounds really hip. Then over the D9, I'm thinking of the chord. I'm going from the minor third to the major third. There's the 5 there. Flat 7. And then back to. Now at any point here, if I get a little bit like, oh my God, I can't think what to play, I just go back to safety net. Yeah, this is the cool thing about it. I can move in and out of that without seeming like a complete wally because I've forgotten what to play. I've got a safety net that I can fall back to. So over the E, I can pretty much play what I played over the D. Yeah, so I can sit doing that for a while. And remember, I've got that safety net of the chord progression. And every time I feel a little bit brave, I can go into a little noodle. I could also go, I can do a bit of A minor pentatonic over that. Yeah, so a bit of A major stuff, a bit of A minor stuff, and mix all that together. Now that's going to keep me going for quite a while, right? But I don't want to do that forever. I'm thinking now, I've played a lot of this in the guitar store, I need to play something else. So now the other thing we can do is we can kind of do the Hendrix thing. The Hendrix thing is really useful because you can apply it to virtually any chord progression. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a simple chord progression and we're going to Hendrixify it. There's a word for you, Big Jim, Hendrixify. So we're just going to go like G, D, E minor, C, which is a really common chord progression, one of the most common in the world, then over the G. Minor, C. So what am I doing there is I'm just following the chords over the G. I know that position 2 is sitting under my fingers and I'm doing these, those sorts of lines that he did just all the time. On the D, I'm sliding up 2 and doing position 1. I might even go little double stops, E minor. I'm now in position 4. And then same shape as the D chord, slide up 2. Position 1. And then went to position 2 as well. But I can sit doing that for ages. Might go to position 5 here. Might even go up to position 1 there in E minor, C. Yeah, and just play around with that. And if I get bored with that, I can then introduce that same sort of playing in another chord progression. So just think of a few chord progressions that you're familiar with and do the Hendrix thing with them. But firstly, do all this stuff at home. Yeah, get it all ready. I know it might sound a bit daft that you've got to prepare to go into a guitar store, but it's a really good exercise for you to be able to do. And like I say, treat it like a mini gig. So now we want one more thing, right? Now, the other thing we're going to do is, just in case we pick up maybe an acoustic guitar, right? This is a useful thing to be able to do. And also, obviously, you can do it on electric as well. And that is a Delta blues, which suits acoustic really well. So you've always got that if you end up picking up an acoustic guitar. It's also good, you know, when you go to like a party or something or someone's house and they go, well, you play guitar, can you play us a tune, please? Every guitarist goes, straight away because they don't know what to play. Well, you can just pick it up and just noodle on some Delta blues. And there's like zillions of Delta blues songs. I'm not saying they all sound the same, but a lot of them are very similar, yeah? And a lot of them just sit around this E chord here, and then you go. So you've got to know how to do that. That's probably arguably one of the most common Delta blues lines, isn't it? When you're going from 2 to 4 on the G, then 3 on the B, and then 0-1 on the G, open E. So fiddling around with those two. Down position 1, tweaking that minor third. I like doing that over the A chord. There's my A7. It's like an A6. Just come off. Yeah. Back to E minor, pentatonic this one. Back to that again. Walk up to the B7. Cheeky turnaround. Cheeky turnaround is 4-3-0, 3-2-0, 2-1-0, 1-0 water. B7. So there you go. You've got 4 ideas that you can use in the guitar store, and they're great because you can improvise with them. You can build things around them. You don't have to learn them absolutely down pat. You can just noodle around with them. You've got the shuffle. You've got the shuffle extended into the little noodling ideas. You've got the Hendrix thing. Thank you. And you've got the Delta Blues thing. So next time you walk into the guitar store, you never have to worry about what you're going to play. You know what you're going to play. You're going to pick up that guitar, you're going to enjoy it, and it's going to be a much better experience for you. So don't forget to check me out on Patreon by clicking the link below. Lots of great stuff on there. Don't forget to like and subscribe, super important. Catch you next time.